Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Joanne Carpenter from Refuge of Hope. You've got a fun thing happening tonight. I'm sure it's probably too late to get tickets for it, but at least let's talk about the event that you're going to be doing tonight.
Well, 5 years ago in May, Refuge of Hope moved out of a pretty, I don't know how to say this. It was not a very nice place where we were, into a renovated building. And so we celebrate that every April, May, every spring. So we're having our anniversary banquet tonight at the Hartville Kitchen. And it's just such an exciting time because it's a celebration. It's a celebration of we set out to get in a renovated building, and we accomplished that. We set out to serve more people, to help more people, to meet the needs of the community, and we've accomplished that. Those are all things to celebrate. So we're going to be meeting tonight. We're going to be launching our new video of hope and how we've been able to reach out and help so many people over the past several years. We're going to have a live testimony from our very own meal ministry assistant, Yolanda Hicks, and on her journey from being a worker, community service worker in our kitchen, to now being on staff, and her journey on how she was able to change her life, and how Refuge of Hope isn't just about the people that we serve meals to and the men who stay in the shelter. We're so much more than that to anyone who walks in through our doors. We're ready to minister to anyone. And Yolanda's going to share her story about how she was able to change her life through working at Refuge of Hope. And now she's part of our staff, and we're just going to be thrilled to talk to her.
Oh, that's fantastic. The video, for those who cannot attend tonight, is there going to be a place where they would be able to see that and see what you're all doing? Will it be on your website?
There will be a link to our website once we do the original launch and get that. And I'm not exactly sure where else, but you can always visit our website at refugeofhope.org to see the new and exciting things that are happening. Now, for those who may want to know more about the banquet, it's a chance for you to come beside us and to support the work that you've just heard, to support the people that we're serving.
Is there any possibility that someone listening right now might still be able to attend?
You know what? Call me at 330-280-2153.
Please give that again. I talked over you. I'm sorry. Go ahead and give that again.
That's okay. 330-280-2153. And let me see what I can do.
Oh, you're a good gal. All right. Say Joanne said it was all right. And all right. But we do want to let people know there are volunteer opportunities. And let's give your location.
We're located at 405 3rd Street Northeast, right downtown Canton, just right in the heart. We're close to the SARTA bus station. We're such a good location for people to get to us that need services that we provide.
That's right. It's so perfect. And what kinds of volunteer opportunities would there be, Joanne?
We have many volunteers in the meal ministry. Now that spring is coming around, we need some weeding done. We need some flowers planted. There's always clothing that needs to be sorted and organized, and donations that come in. And just like you spoke of donating furniture, when our men move out, we do provide them with furniture. A picture for their wall, coffee cups, a small microwave, or whatever. So we have all of those things to organize and to sort through to help the men move out. So there are many volunteer opportunities that we have available.
And we can find out about those and maybe some of the needs as far as donations and so forth at refugeofhope.org, yes?
That's correct. It's all on the website.
Perfect. Joanne, tell us from your shoes, personally, through your eyes, tell us what it has meant to you to be involved with this powerful ministry.
I'm into my 7th year working at Refuge of Hope, and I have the best job anyone could ever have. I've been privileged and honored to work and serve God by serving the people that we have at Refuge of Hope. I have made wonderful friends, and unfortunately, I have seen a half a dozen or so of them pass on. And that's very difficult because you become so attached. We just had our oldest resident, he was 96, pass away. And he came for the meal ministries. He never stayed with us, but he came for the meal ministries on a regular basis. And bless his heart, he was just such an inspiration to all of us. And he was such a close part of our family. We are a family. And I know that sounds odd to some people. I mean, how can you call homeless people your family? How can you call people who live in poverty and live a lifestyle that you don't agree with part of your family? But if we don't love people, I mean, where was Jesus?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we have to look at it. We're the hands and feet of Jesus, and we're his heart, and we have to share that with the people that we serve. So the stories that we have to share with your listeners, I could probably talk for a week or so about the different stories and about the lives that we've touched, but more about the lives that have touched me.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
We have some great people down there.
Tell me some more about these friends that you call family.
Well, I have a good friend, Rachel. And I remember the very first night Rachel and her 5 kids came into Refuge of Hope. And she was very timid and shy. And this was probably about 3 years ago. And periodically we do shoot some video footage. And we were shooting that night. I brought Rachel in, had her sit down, had her children sit down. We fed her. And she was looking around. And you could just tell she was like, this is not what I expected. So I struck up a conversation with her, and we spoke. And I said, would you have a few words to say for the video? And she said, yeah, I'd really like to do that. And so she gathered up her kids. Some of them were teenagers, and gathered them up. And she said a few words on the video, and it just heartfelt. And to this day, Rachel and her children will still come down. She came from a battered situation in another state, and starting over has been challenging and difficult for Rachel and her children. But she's working hard to make a new life for herself and for her kids. So she'll call me periodically. If I'm down at the meal ministry, I'll sit and chat with them for a while, or chat with the kids. And her 2 youngest boys accepted the Lord one night after the meal ministry.
Wow.
What a great story for that mom, that to know that her children found the Lord where she took them to find a meal.
Yeah. Wow. Got eternal bread of life, and not just a little bread to get you through the day.
Right.
It's got to be just incredibly challenging, though, as well, because you are dealing with some people. There are reasons that people are homeless. Some of the reasons are just a really bad break, like you're saying, some folks, and the discouragement that comes with that, where you kind of feel that feeling like you're at the end of a game, and you suddenly realize, we're not going to win. We're going to lose this one. And for people to have that feeling perpetually, day by day by day, what do you do for them to turn it around, to talk about the hope you speak of, to be able to give them a new perspective, to realize things can be different?
We have had a motto in the meal ministry when I first started, and that was we would serve every meal with love, compassion, and respect. Well, that soon spilled over to the motto for the entire mission, and that still goes on today. So when you begin to treat someone who has lost respect for themselves because of whatever their situation is, even if it was all circumstantial, they still lose respect in themselves. And if you can show them that you have that respect for them, that you have compassion for their situation without judging them, that you can love them unconditionally. And sometimes that love is hard. I've had conversations with men who said, yeah, I want to give up my drugs, I want to do this, but I want to do these 3 things first before I give it all up.
Yes.
And it's like, when you're ready to do the hard work that it's going to take, you come back and we'll talk again. I'm still here, not going anywhere, but I'm not going to waste your time, and I'm not going to waste mine. When you're ready, we'll talk.
And if they almost realized that it's harder to be doing this the way that you're doing it. It's harder to have to know where are all the hot meals being served all week long. It's harder to know what papers need to be filled out and filed by when to be able to get some kind of sustenance and some kind of assistance. It can be so much easier to have a job and a home and some stability. Do I sound cold-hearted as I say that? There's the way to learn things the hard way, and there's the way to learn things the easy way. And I guess I've always really preferred to do life the easy way. And I wish they could know there's an easier way. Does your heart just burst with frustration to be able to say, life doesn't have to be this hard?
Sometimes it does. And there's a very fine line between helping someone and enabling someone.
Exactly.
And you have to realize when you're doing that. But you can never give up on them because they've already given up on themselves. And I have to tell you, Susie, generational poverty is a huge factor in all of this. A lifestyle that they have seen exhibited from generation passed down. And that's what they know. They don't always understand that there is a different way. Sometimes they look at us and it's like, well, I was judged one time. Someone sat across my desk and said, well, look at you. You have a job, you have a car. And it's like, yeah, I have a house payment. I have a car payment.
Responsibilities.
And I have my own mistakes that I live with every day of my life. Don't you dare judge me. If you want to talk about my life, if you want to talk about my experience, my walk with the Lord, I'll be happy to do that. Because without Jesus in my life, I wouldn't be sitting here talking with you and having this conversation now.
You really think of the children as well who see that it's on their radar. It's a possibility because they've seen mom and dad and they're soaking in and they're learning by example. And thank you for showing them that there is being a different kind of an example and showing them there is another way. There's a way out of this. Of course, our time just fled on us. So give us, Refuge of Hope, give us that number one more time if folks would like to attend tonight, the banquet.
Okay, 330-280-2153.
Joanne Carpenter, Refuge of Hope, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all you do in our community.
Thank you.